I have finally finished my commute read, also known as my waiting room, waiting for a lift read. Now, because I suffer from motion sickness, I can't read in a moving car, bus, but there were also times when I was working from home, and so that really did cut down my reading time. I know that I'm chronically online, and so I could have finished this book a long time ago. It's really not that thick. The writing is not that tiny, so that was part of the reason it took me a long time to finish the book. Another reason it took me a long time to finish the book is because books meet you where you're at, and I need to do some reflection, some soul searching, and as a byproduct of reading this book and other books, I have been sending my poor father and a few of my friends podcast style lengthy voice notes about race identity. Now, the premise of this book made me uncomfortable. It's the kind of book that I'm like, should I be reading this in public? Because when they see me with this book, they'll be like, oh, interesting cover, interesting name. And then they read the blur and it's like, oh, is that what you want? And no, that's obviously not what I want. But it was an interesting thought exercise. And I thought it was very well done. He was very daring, very brave, but he also very, very sensible. Having lived in other countries, a bit of those, they all impact you. They all add to who you are and how you identify yourself and how you choose to present yourself to the world. Now, when I was reading this book, I hoped and I wanted to believe that I'd be one of the characters who are on the right side, based on like how this book portrays the right side. But the reality is, I do wear gym athleisure and I do walk a dog, and I do suspect that in a world where the rules don't apply, would I embrace the change, or will I stick to what I have known, what I've worked so hard to put together? And the answer is probably be a little bit more resistant to change than I would like to admit. But you know, when traveling and living in different parts of the world does change who you are and how you choose to present yourself, how you perceive the world. And I thought this was another book, one of those books that did exactly that. It helped me to really, really think about not just necessarily how I come across, but how I perceive myself. I did feel, and one little criticism, that there was a vilification of different types of being Black. But it was mostly supposed to be a celebration of reconnecting to your roots. And I know a lot of people see I'm wearing pearls. I just came from work. It's summer, so I've got some sunnies on. So it is very, like, it does seem culturally misaligned. However, and obviously the accent and all of that, we can't get past that. However, I was still raised culturally Black. I was still raised culturally African. And I still have some seemingly unexpected and to some people incongruent Africanisms. I contain multitudes, and I do love how this book did portray that there are many ways in which you can exist and choose to exist, and how we are the byproducts of our surroundings and our mindsets, and also exploring what does it mean to be Black. My sister said this was the best book that she has read this year, and I can see why.